when I had been offered this job, it was Howard Himes, and Howard Himes is Mickey Graham's father.
Okay.
And he was the one that hired me. He was on the vestry then, and he knew my mom through another connection, through their work connection, and he had heard that I was at Westminster Choir College, and so that's how I got hired.
So you became the director of music?
Yes, in 1956, when I was hired, then that's the same year that Canon Tucker was hired, my father-in-law. And so we both began at the same time. And there were some times when I was the first organist and he was the first full-time rector. And so together we began a St. Cecilia choir, which was an all-girl choir. The interesting part of that is I taught them the communion service, which they then sang when Weed and I got married on October 4th, 1958.
2 years later. Okay. Okay. And Weed's dad had just begun at the same time you began.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
were the team.
We were the team.
Yeah.
You could say that, I guess. And
Sure.
I did, at that time, I did not know Weed because I was going to school locally in Princeton, and he was a junior at Hobart College in Geneva, New York.
Okay.
And so he came home on a Good Friday, and that's when we met. So that was a Good Friday, if you want to look at it that way.
Okay. How was Reverend Tucker? Give us a little bit of his style and his personality.
He was a very interesting man because he was a graduate of VMI, Virginia Military Institute, and then he was in broadcasting, and he did some PR work, and he studied for the priesthood at night. So about at the age of 45, he then became a priest. So he was, and Weed and his brother will tell stories about Father Tucker eating dinner and then sitting in the other room just studying, watching TV, but studying. He was a very bright man, so he was able to do this in the evening.
Was he a veteran as well?
Yes, yes, and he had served in, Weed tells the story of his father coming home and saying, I have to go. And that was it. They were living, I think, in Virginia then, and so it meant his mom and his young brother, and he had to come live with family here till they figured out what to do. Yeah.